Good morning, everyone. Happy October 1st, 2025. So, we are now in the new month. This October, as you've seen in a lot of my videos, we've predicted that October is going to be hot and there's going to be a lot going on. Yes, we did receive a yes the other day about the EBS, and I believe that we're right on target for that. I think that what's happening now with the shutdown and everything, I think that's just the beginning. I think what's going to happen, it's going to escalate into the EBS, and then that's going to escalate into the financial reset, Nasara Jasara, all of that. I do really believe that October is the month, and I hope it all comes true. So we'll see. But aside from that, this show, these daily insight shows, are not about the geopolitical so much. These are intended to help people with their evolving, with their life purpose, finding themselves, and doing the inner healing. So that's what these daily insights are, because as we know, routine is very important. So daily routine, your morning routine, your night routine, just taking moments a day to even do meditation or even set intentions to manifest. So all of that plays a major role when you're ascending and when you're trying to evolve and self-mastery. So routine is very important. That's why these shows are coming back for daily insights. So daily, even if you don't have time to do it yourself, even just listening to these videos every morning, it will help you have a positive outlook mindset for the day. So that's the intention of these shows. So geopolitical shows you will have on Monday evenings and Thursday evenings. So Thursday evenings with Jason, we will be back. So tomorrow night, we will have a geopolitical show. Very much looking forward to that. And we'll get into everything. There's a lot going on, but I'm very excited because I do feel that we are getting even closer to the EBS going off. But like I said, let's talk about this morning. Okay, so this morning, October 1st, coming back to the people. This show is for the people and your growth, your inner growth. We're going to talk a little bit about what needs to be looked at. What is something that Spirit wants us all to look at as a collective in our personal lives, with ourselves. What do we need to look at, reflect on for our highest, greatest good so that we can heal that piece of us and move forward? So let's take a look. What does Spirit want the collective to reflect on, do introspection, inner healing? What is the inner healing work that Spirit is recommending for today for October 1st, 2025? Let's take a look. So we have the Knight of Cups is our first card. So this is a beautiful energy. So bring healing to yourself. So this is what's coming through with the Knight of Cups is triggering the information that know in your soul, in your heart, that you are the healer. You can heal what's going on within you. If your life is chaotic right now and you have maybe there's drama, there's people in your life that's just causing a stir up, or just maybe things aren't just going your way. Maybe finances are just insane right now and you just can't get ahead. You don't feel like you can get ahead. So this is an example. But know that you are the healer. Know that you can change everything. You can change, and you have to start that with intention, as we talk about all the time. Words are very powerful. What your intentions are, what your outlook is, what you imagine for your future, that is you manifesting. Your picture of your future, that's all you. You're orchestrating this. So know that you are the healer, not only for physical things going on within your body, but spiritually, you are the healer to clear blockages and to remove anything that may be in your way. And it could just be yourself. It could just be what you're thinking is going to happen. And a lot of times, because we're spiritual beings in human experience, we're going to think the worst scenario right off the bat. So don't get frustrated. Don't pay any attention to frustration. When that emotion comes through, try your best, and it takes a lot of practice. Try your best to repent that, and shift your energy, because everything is energy. And if we stay in the more positive zones, more so than not, that's when you're going to have more positive outcomes in your life. Let's see what else is coming through. So you are the healer. That immediately came through, spiritually, physically. Then we have the Two of Pentacles and we have the Knight of Swords. So If there is something you're uncertain about, you need to take action. Spirit's trying to tell you, well, right now you need to take action. If you can't make up your mind about something, there's a reason for that. And a lot of times, if you're a little bit unsure or even a lot unsure about something or what path you should take or giving someone a chance or not, like if there's any doubt in your mind, if it's not an automatic hell yes, then it's probably a no. It's not for your highest good. So if there's a very strong urgency, yes, excitement, positivity, this high frequency emotion coming through with, because remember, heart coherence, intuition is connected to the heart. If you don't have that high frequency coming in, then the answer is most likely a no. So if any of you are going through it and trying, you keep going back and forth about something, well, Spirit's trying to tell you to take action. And take action, with that being said, take action in knowing what's stronger. Are you getting that high frequency yes, or are you getting that no? So taking action by making the choice. And you have to balance out and figure out, well, internalize it, go within, and really figure out, okay, well, what's for my highest good? If I'm not feeling an automatic yes, then it's no. And I don't know who needs to hear that, but if you are trying to make a decision, major or minor, that's the message that's coming through for you. And then also I'm going to pull from my Eternal Connections deck. So this is on my website. These are beautiful cards. If you need a little more guidance or help, every day to have a routine for yourself, to work on inner strength and inner growth. So these cards are great. You can just pull one a day and it gives you something to look at, to reflect on. So I'm going to pull one now from Eternal Connections. What are the messages and what are the subjects that we need to look at? What do we need to inner reflect, work on today as a collective? What do we all need to hear today? Okay, so we're getting blockages. Well, speaking of blockages, here we go. So blockages, your communication from your brain to your heart to spirit may be addicted to the states of stress. That's very likely. We don't really pay attention to that. I don't think we really notice that. Okay, so we're scrolling on, let's say, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. You're scrolling and you don't really know, but we are all actually, there's a part of us that is addicted to that. It's a dopamine high, of course, to scroll and be entertained, by a device, of course. But it's an addiction to stress, really, is what that is, because that dopamine high is going to drop, and then you're going to go back to, not everyone, but it depends on what you're watching. But a lot of that stuff out there is going to bring you to a level of stress and a lower vibration. So we need to pay attention to what and who we're putting our energy into. So just pay attention to that. Are you addicted to stress? And you may not really realize that. Whenever you get so much dopamine high, like with the phones or whatever, or anything, food, alcohol, anything, any kind of addiction, that's going to drop. You're going to lose that high and go back to stress level, low frequency. So we need to pay attention to that and figure out, do we have that going on? Is that a habit that's happening? Anyways, back to the card, Eternal Connections. It also says, if it is hard for you to open your heart, go within and consciously create heart coherence. So here's a tip for if you're having trouble opening your heart to someone or opening your heart to a new idea or a possibility, an opportunity that you need to take that's good for you, you need to go within and really recognize your heart coherence. Your heart coherence affects your brain coherence. And when the heart moves into coherence, it acts as an amplifier. Okay, so the heart, remember, just picture it, your heart is amplifying all of the whole state, this whole frequency. And it's sending coherent information through its afferent nervous pathways straight to the thalamus, which synchronizes the neocortex and the brain survival centers. So it's putting you automatically in that vibration, which is, it can lead to the fight or flight position of that vibration. We don't want to go there. With an open heart, you can keep your survival centers in check, depleting fear, doubt, and worry, and the stories you tell yourself. And that's another thing. I think we talked about it yesterday, but the stories you tell yourself, and even if you go back in time and reflect on an old memory, everybody does it. We all change a little bit of it. It's not exactly the way that it was. It's just not. There's always something tweaked, and there's always some other emotion in there. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful of the stories we tell ourselves. Also, someone maybe bullied you in the past. Are you holding on to an identity that someone else said you looked like or you were? Are you holding on to that because it hurt, but you're using that as an identity? So that's something that we need to pay attention to. And in a lot of my readings, my one-on-one readings, a lot of individuals aren't even aware that they're doing that, but we discover that. We discover that, okay, that is a major blockage, because like your mom said something about you when you were young, and she kept saying it and kind of bullied you a little bit. So this is an example. But I mean, because I'm not going to say her name here on the show, but I mean, that was something that her mom did, and she held on to it for all these years and never got over it because she believed it. But then she used it as an identity, and it's been holding her back in her life from going forward, from jobs, from relationships, from just not feeling so worthy as she should. She's very worthy, you know? So that's just an example. But without an open heart and and if you stay negative, like a Democrat, I'll just say, because it's true. They're a good example. Okay, Democrats are staying in a negative state. They're just not. They're not budging. They're not changing. They're not shifting into a better frequency. Okay, so people that stay in the negativity, they stay in the matrix. They stay in that whole cycle, toxic cycle, fear state, and the state of worry and fear. They're always going to have blockages. There's always going to be blockages, and this is for everybody. Doesn't matter, what party you're with, but it's for everybody. If you're just always saying that, you're not breaking the cycle, you're not practicing mindfulness, which that's what this show is about, mindfulness, daily mindfulness. But you have to be able to do that. This, and just to tell you, this is my routine, part of my routine every morning. So then I just decided, well, I might as well record it. If I'm going to be practicing my inner work every morning, I might as well record it and do it with everybody. So it's just, we have to practice mindfulness. We have to take great care of our physical health, our mental health, our spiritual health. Spiritually healthy, not spiritually sick. We don't want to go there, and that's all the lower frequency emotions. But ask yourself if your inner world is at peace. Is your inner world at peace? Are you at peace within yourself, and with yourself, and with the loved ones you have around you, your job, whatever you may be doing? So just ask yourself, and how can you create more peace? What no longer serves your highest good? This is a process of elimination. And our number today is number 5. It's about change. Number 5 is about change. So asking yourself about your inner world, your inner peace within yourself. When you're alone, this is a good way to find out. When you're all by yourself and no one's with you, you're not hanging out with anybody. When you have that alone time, are you truly content and happy with who you are, with the love with yourself? And that's a great way to find out, if you have too much noise or not, or if you don't enjoy yourself, if you don't enjoy time to yourself, then there's something there that needs to be reflected on. And it's most likely a self-worth issue. Something's going on with self-worth, or, something that you're holding on to, like identity, holding on to a past identity that someone else put on you. So a lot of that, it's deep inner work. And sometimes we don't see it, by ourselves. And that's why I do what I do. A lot of you have told me that my readings are basically life coaching. And I have a lot of you that come routinely every couple of weeks and every month. So I thank you all for always, showing appreciation and showing me that I am making a difference. So I thank you all very, very much. And so that's why these shows, this new show, Daily Insights, is is happening, because I want the people, I want everyone to start reflecting on their inner world. Yes, we have a lot of excitement going on in the world, globally, and it's exciting and it's distracting. And this distraction from yourself, you don't want to get away from that. You want to still concentrate on ascension, your growth, what you want in your life. And don't get wrapped up in the chaos or what so and so said. You heard this on another show. Like, there's just so much going on, and there's so much fear, doubt, and worry, especially around the financial system. But that is going to shift, and it is going to change for the highest good of all people. It's just a process, and it will happen. But I think that we all need to really focus on our inner world, our personal lives, your inner child, your young adulthood. Like, every stage in your life, you've changed and you've transformed into a new version of yourself. But there's always something that a lot of us don't see. And I think that opening up to other people, so opening up to, a mentor or a life coach or a reader, if you go for readings of any sort, if it's for your highest good, because there's a lot of readers out there that aren't for your highest good. But you want to always have someone that's helping you detect and investigate why you feel certain ways, why you're afraid of certain outcomes, and also direction. Kind of see a clearer direction, a clearer path. And sometimes it's a lot more clear when you speak it with someone else. And that's why I do offer my readings, and that's why I love what I do, because I love helping people, and I will continue to. But if you are interested in a one-on-one reading, I do have specials going on. I'm going to hold up the screen, share screen here. But I do have specials going on all the time, so you can always get in. I do have the express reading, so you can just send in some questions or topics that you're concerned about or you want me to investigate. And that's express, and only for $27. You can get that with one Zoom reading, where we meet face to face. We can really investigate what's going on. I do have an offering for that at $117 or $144 on the website, but those other ways of payment are only $117. Session. I see my internet's kind of blocking out. Sorry, guys. But yeah, the one-on-one is more one. It's an investigative. It's deep dive, because we're there together, and we can really sort things out and do some inner work and reflection. And I can help you find blockages, and it's deep. Whatever topics that you want to bring. I always tell you guys, you can ask whatever you want, for sure. So it doesn't matter, whatever you want to ask or get into, for sure. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate it very much. You guys have a beautiful October 1st, and I hope you guys stay positive today and just make the best of it every day. We're here to experience and to enjoy our lives. And yes, we know that there's, like, I've got things going on in my life too that are they worry me and frustrate me, but I choose not to invest energy into them. I try to push that out and not invest energy, because it doesn't do any good to worry. It really doesn't. So just try to stay positive and just enjoy the day and get through it. It's one day at a time. We got it. But anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, and take care. Bye.